Welcome everybody to this week's episode, or this week's episode of The Collective. My name is LaRon Henderson. I am with Collective for Youth, the program quality director. And today I have a special guest. Her name is Equasha Smith. She is the site director at Lothrop Elementary School. Lothrop is the agency that's over, Lothrop is Civic Nebraska. Now, Equasha is not going to allow me to talk much about what I'm getting ready to talk about before she shares with us some wisdom. But I unofficially met Equasha when she was in high school. She was in high school. Now, many of you do not know that Equasha was on, was it a two-time state championship team?
We were state runners up one year, then we won state the next year.
Since it is basketball season, I have to talk about Equasha's skills. She was a beast on the basketball court. And do you remember what, I guess the question that I want to ask you is, do you remember that time? And do you all still get together and reminisce about the success that you had and the leadership that y'all showed the community, the school, and yourselves during that time? Do you guys still talk about that?
I don't see too many of them, but it'll be through social media, like when they share old pictures. But that is like one of my biggest accomplishments, as a teenager. So that has stuck with me all my life when it comes to accomplishing things, because we prove the city wrong. Oh, they're too young, they won't never do it.
Oh yeah.
And we did it.
And the thing that was always amazing to me, because I was guilty of this, I would come to the girls' game. I would follow the girls wherever y'all played. I would come to the girls' games, and then right before the boys played, I would leave because I'm like, I ain't watching the boys. The girl. I mean, the stands were packed when y'all were playing, and then once the boys' game started, everybody left. Well, popcorn's good. It's time to go home. But it was good. So today, the thing that has impressed me most about you, Equasha, is one, your dedication and your passion to bring your full self, your authentic self into the program. But two, your commitment, just like you did with basketball, just like you do with life, your commitment to get better on a daily basis. I mean, you were assistant site director for a long time, and then this director came up. You've been for about 4 years now?
Since 2017.
Yeah, okay, so what is that? What is that? That 5 years?
Maybe 4.
4 years. The intensity that you put into the work that you do, the way that you raise your daughter, the way you take care of yourself, the way that you lead your school, the way that you help out, has always been impressive to me.
Thank you.
So I just appreciate you coming on. And I know it, you make it look, I say it like this, you make it look easy. But I know there's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes to get your stuff. We talked about your water heater and all. Talked about that this week. That's all taken care of. We working that out.
I dropped the money off for it today.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show that in everything that we do and everything that you as a site director and everything, you're a site director, you're a mom, you're a community leader, you're a role model, you're a boss, you're all those different things, but you do it so well. So I just want to talk with you just for a minute and hear your heart around, I think it was, what was the title that we were going to use? You remember? I think it's do you remember your why? Do you remember your why? So let's start off with this. Where's your passion come from? Where's your passion come from just to do what you do every single day?
I was an at-risk kid. My mother and father were both alcoholics. I was a foster kid. I had a younger brother. I had an older sister, and we were always separated, because of how our lives were. And so I knew that as I was growing up, that I did not want to be a product of my environment, from everything that was going on around me, from the violence, the drugs, anything, I've saw a lot, So when I see these kids, I see me and these kids, the ones that have the problems, but they don't know they can break this curse. So my passion for what I do is to show all kids, you do not have to be a product of your negative environment and you can be better. I want the older kids to help their little siblings. You know, you'll see older kids picking at their little siblings instead of protecting them.
Right.
So it's just all about safety, you know, with me and my daughter, same thing. Nobody would know. So her dad drinks and I would have never knew that. I don't want her to be a product of that environment because that's what I deal with my mom and dad, you know.
Right.
And so my passion is just so the kids know they can break these curses and be a positive role model for themselves and their little siblings as well.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I get that. I really do get that. Pandemic happened. And many people took it as an opportunity to take some time off, to really get into, well, it's the pandemic. We suffering. We got it all this. That wasn't you. That wasn't you. You're like, okay, this is preseason. It's preseason before our championship year. We're getting ready to win state. We got to put some work in. We got to get, can you just talk and maybe from your perspective, what you have done to maintain, because when we were talking, you were like, LaRon, some of the problems that people are having, I don't have. And some of the things that I did or that they did, I didn't do. So you've had tremendous success for your agency, for your school, for yourself. If there's something that you can tell folks that may still be struggling with pandemic mindset or with whatever it is, what are some things, three tools, the ABCs, whatever it is, from your heart, talk to them. Come on.
So one of our values is innovation at Civic Nebraska. Innovation means change. People get scared when they hear change. Mm-hmm. With the pandemic, we had to do a lot of change every other day. One thing I had to learn is to learn how to use technology, because the first thing we did is Civic U so we could reach our parents and kids at home virtually because they knew they couldn't come to school.
Right.
So once I presented that to my staff, they were on board. We came in the building, we did the virtual thing. And I said, I had like 5 girls that got on every single night. Their parents, they were dedicated. So that 5 was like 50 to me, so the innovation I had to change with the coronavirus. I'm not good with Zoom. I had to learn how to use Zoom. I didn't know how to do any of this, So it was either, do you want to keep your job and so you can maintain your livelihood, take care of Victoria, or you're going to drop the ball on these kids? Because the kids weren't understanding what was going on, coronavirus, sick, flu. They didn't understand the change of not being in school. Then we had kids that were at home that probably weren't getting fed, getting the attention. So I knew that if it was going to be just the 5 kids we could get virtually, I knew next week it would be 10 more. Mm-hmm. It's just knowing that change it can be hard, but we have to go with the flow. Like with after school program, we change something every week, from, now we can go back to school. So just know that innovation is very important. You have to know thyself so you can be prepared to serve others. And it's just, you got to know your facilitating skills. And I just want to go, I have like 10 of them. You need to be prepared. Regardless of what it looks like, you need to be prepared for your staff. I know some people might have 3 staff. Be prepared for those 3 staff. I have 10 staff. I'm always prepared for them, whatever they need. Know who's in the room, know who you're serving. When you're talking to your staff, when you're talking to kids, when you're talking to parents, you have to code switch. You have to know the difference of your audience. Create inclusive environments. Everyone has to feel welcome and that they belong. Someone needs a walker. Make sure the space is there for them to use their walker. Always use active listening. I listen to my staff all the time, even the kids. I get on the kids' level. If people know when you're not listening, and when you don't listen, that means you don't care.
Right.
It may not move you or concern you, but you need to listen to the adults, the kids, the parents. And it's a lot being a director. We get pulled different ways, but that is one of the very most important things. You have to listen. Time management. I don't know why time management is number 6. I guess you can put them however you want. Your job keeps moving and flowing because how you do your routine, and you teach that to the kids. So consistency, like I tell my staff, lesson plans are due on Thursday. If I don't have them on Monday morning in your supply list, you won't have your supplies Monday. And then I don't want to go on Tuesday and get them because my gas is only for Monday for this job. Okay. So this is how we, it's the consistency.
Did you just say your gas is only for Monday?
I shop only on Mondays for Civic Nebraska with my car. Yes. This is not
on so good.
That's not on here. You got to set boundaries.
Boundaries.
You have to set those boundaries, because if they know I'll just go, then you'll look up and somebody be like, oh, it's Friday, I need this today. Okay, well, you better get it on your way to work.
Right.
You have to set those boundaries. And then we have to be flexible. Things are changing all the time, every day. So just like we just found out, we're having summer school at Lothrop. Don't know if anyone knows that, but we did get to have summer school. So you just have to be flexible. Energy. You got to know people's energy. You might not want to say certain things to somebody, like when you find out how someone's day is going. Somebody could say they're having a bad day. It could have been about death. And then you look up and you might say the wrong thing about somebody dying or want to talk about death that day. You have to know people's energy and know what to communicate about and what to wait until you're by yourself with them. You have to know people's energy, like with the mood meter. Don't be judgmental. We can't judge the kids. You can't judge your staff because you don't know what they're going through. Same thing with the mood meter. Find out what's going on, but don't judge them, and just be a listening ear. And then the last one again, which is first, just know yourself. If you don't know yourself, you cannot be any good for anyone. And I do a lot of meditation. I use my music bowl. I like to use my jacuzzi. I like when Victoria goes to bed, I'll try to read something, but you have to find this time for yourself so you can pour into other people.
So the first one was know yourself. Second one was be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
What was the third one?
Know who's in the room.
Okay. Who's in the room?
Audience.
Know your audience. Okay. Create inclusive environments. Active listening. Time management. Be flexible. Energy. Your energy, their energy. No judgment, or be non-judgmental, I guess you would say. And then you topped it off with know yourself.
But I forgot one. This is very important. I did set effective guidelines and clear instructions.
Set effective guidelines. Does that go along with boundaries? That was different.
That was number 4. So boundaries is not on here. I said that when you made a point, so we can put them together. Okay. So with the clear instructions, so for example, when I said lesson plans are due on Thursday, I need them on Thursday in the supply list. That's being consistent. And I've been doing that since 2017, and I still have staff who do not do it on time. Okay. That's a whole nother podcast. That's a whole nother training. So can you just end our time together talking about the importance of setting clear boundaries with your staff, with yourself, with the teachers, with the kids? Can you just give me a minute on that? Just setting boundaries. So we set our boundaries by using the ruler charter. For the adults make one, and they do one with their group. So we want to know how we want to feel in program, how we want to be treated in the program, as well as the kids pick the activities they want to learn, how they want to learn them. So the ruler charter is something you can revisit. So you need to make maybe a notation. If this doesn't happen, then what are we going to do? Who does responsibility fall on? So yeah, we use the ruler charter, and just like with the mood meter. So it's about emotion, social emotional learning, so. Okay. Just the knowledge that you dropped in these last few minutes is one, it just shows me your growth. Thank you.
And you and I have had many, many times together in good and in bad. And your passion in talking, I can see, I could see, and maybe the folks will hear it, but the edginess. And it wasn't that she was nervous. It wasn't that you were nervous or that you were scared. It's that you really live what you say every day. And so you're from the, as someone told me, you're from the Watusi tribe, the Watusi. Watusi is what to get. You Watusi. Yeah, very authentic, very authentic. So
I say that I'm a 24-hour person. I said that to somebody last week and they said, what does that mean? I said, I am reliable. People know I will come through and they can depend on me any time of the day, year, hour, night, week, month.
Wow. We may have to change the name of this to 24. Remembering your why, becoming a 24-hour person. That is so good. Equasha, I thank you so much for joining me for this podcast. It will be, for those of you listening, it will be this podcast will be on our website. It will be on, not our website, but it will be on our YouTube page, www.collectiveforyouth.org. It will also be on our podcast, The Collective, where you can find us on Spotify and Anchor. And then, I don't know, this was good.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much for just taking the time. I know you're busy, and we'll see you next time. So hold on just for a second.